Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Hari Om. Today we are going to learn about Sthitaprajña, how to be equibalanced in our daily life from learning Bhagavad Gītā. Lord Krishna, when Arjuna asked him, how does a Sthitaprajña, equibalanced person lives in this world? How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he move through the world? That kind of question he asked. But what he really wanted to know is that how this knowledge can help us to live a balanced life. Um, Lord Krishna described beautifully all these things in the Sankhya Yoga, in the Bhagavad Gītā. Sthitaprajña does not mean not having any emotions. This is a common misconception that we should not have any emotions. No, what Lord Krishna is teaching is that we should not become psychologically slaves to the emotions. And he says that in sorrow, the mind is not overwhelmed. In pleasure, it does not become dependent upon pleasure. Okay? Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha, sukheshu vigataspruhaha. That's what he says. Suppose someone criticizes us. Ordinary reaction is they insulted me. Immediately the mind start playing this event. Why they said this? What's going on? Hmm. And then maybe in your mind you're playing, I should have answered differently. Maybe I made them upset. Like a lot of things go on in our mind psychologically, and it might last you minutes to days to years or really long time. But the event has ended. The Sthita Prajna, what they do is that, okay, the event finished. Why am I continuing it within myself? Why am I thinking still? Why this thought is coming to this mind? Okay, this awareness is a good start for all of us. So this is called psychological time. We live in that psychological time. But the event happened only a minute or two or a little bit. But we live forever in this. Okay? So question not to live in the psychological time. Live in the real time. The second one is create a space between experience and reaction. Okay? Um, he talks about one of the slokas that dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Okay? That means the outside objects, situations, all these things will sit in our mind. Okay, these experiences, these vishayaha. That means whatever is happening outside, they stimulate us. And then attachment creates because we start thinking about it. And then a desire comes. A desire is not fulfilled, and that creates anger. Okay, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibramaha. Smriti Bramsat Buddhinaso, Buddhinasat Pranasyati. That's what he says. Anger creates the moha, delusion, and delusion disturbs your memory, and then discrimination is lost. Then you are lost completely. So then you cannot recover. Okay, this is the problem with that. The first thought may arise when somebody made you unpleasant, something unpleasant happened is, do I keep feeding it? Okay, that is where spiritual practice begins. Should I start dwelling on it? Okay, that's when you're supposed to react with anger or whatever it is, break that cycle with a pause, observe, understand, response. That's what Lord Krishna is teaching us. That small gap can save relationships, prevent unnecessary arguments, and preserve inner peace. And the third one is watch attachment and aversion in ordinary situations. Because the what we are attached is something we want, okay, and something we don't want. Okay. If it is good, we want. If it is not good for us, we don't want it. This is what the cycle usually goes on. Then we have to think about how this Sthitaprajña, what is Lord Krishna is teaching us. Okay? The common life situations are I like this, I don't like that. This person respects me, that person ignores me. Like this, I mean, we think about it. So, what is Sthitaprajña will do? Is the situation really my problem? Or is my insistence that it must be different creating my disturbance? Okay? That this does not mean passivity. He's not saying you shouldn't do anything. Change what needs to be changed. Speak when necessary. Correct injustice when necessary. But first remove unnecessary inner agitation inside your mind. Then action becomes clear. Okay? And then Lord Krishna talks about a tortoise, how intelligently um, it retracts all its limbs. Yada samharate chayam kurmongani vasarvashaha. In that sloka, Lord Krishna describes how a tortoise, turtle, kind of retracts all the limbs when there is a danger. In the same way, we have to remember in this daily life, like um, we have like we need to observe this kind of thing, where I mean, like phone, social media, food, news, how it makes us react, how we respond to it. All those things stimulate us. The question is not, can I avoid everything? No. The better question is, can I disengage when I choose to? If I cannot put the phone down for 30 minutes, the problem is no longer the phone, it is dependence. Sthitaprajña means recovering our freedom to engage and disengage consciously. Okay? And then the next thing is do not make peace dependent upon fulfilled desires. We cannot fulfill our desires all the time. And this is the sloka he talks about apurya manam achala pratishtam samudramap of pravishanti advat. He says many rivers continuously enter the ocean, yet the ocean is balanced. Okay? The like that countless experiences come into our life. Success comes, failure comes, praise, criticism, money comes and goes. People enter and leave our lives. But Sthita Prajna is like the ocean. Experiences enter the consciousness, but every experience does not redefine the person. Okay? Can this experience enter my mind without taking possession of my mind? That's the question. That's the contemplation we need to do. So, like this, we need to be like ocean. Okay? We don't need to run around these objects, our relations, and all that, which disturb us. And then the next one is convert every disturbance into self inquiry. For a serious seeker in Vedanta, daily problems can become spiritual laboratories. Okay? Suppose I become angry. Instead of only asking, why did that person behave like this? Ask another question. What exactly in me was threatened? Okay? Was it my expectation, my image? Am I losing control? Am I attached to this? What, or do I need to be appreciated, recognized? So these are the questions. If you pose these things, this is karma yoga transforming into gnana yoga. And then initially, how should I respond correctly? Later, why is my mind disturbed? Still, if we go deeper, who is this in me that feels diminished by another person's words? The external situation becomes a doorway to inner investigation. Then knowledge must become emotional strength. We may know, and Vedanta teaches us that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the ultimate Atma. That's what Bhagavan teaches us in the second chapter also. He teaches us so much about Atma, that you are eternal Atma. When somebody criticizes us, suddenly all Vedanta disappears. This shows the difference between knowledge available in memory and knowledge assimilated into life. That means when you first listen, you understand. And then when you think about it, that's called manana, removes doubts. Nididhyasa allows us to understand much deeply. Okay? Ask, how quickly do I recover after a disturbance? Previously, criticism disturbed me for 3 days. Now, perhaps 3 hours or minutes, right? We change. Definitely, we change with this knowledge. From I am disturbed to disturbance is appearing. We need to change our thought process like that. Okay, this is a deeper Advaitic practice. When anger comes, ordinary we say, I'm angry. But start saying, anger is arising in the mind. When anxiety comes, anxiety is being experienced. Okay, this small shift is profound, really, because anger is known, fear is known, thought is known. Okay, the changing mind is also known. Therefore, I cannot ultimately be any changing mental condition. Okay? But we must be careful here. The goal is not to create another ego saying, I am the witness watching everything. Even the thought I'm witnessing is known. Okay? Vedanta ultimately points beyond the observer division to self luminous conscious itself. Sthitaprajña is therefore not someone continuously trying to maintain a special witnessing state. It is one whose wisdom has become natural. So, simple daily Sthitaprajña practice is at the beginning of the day, remember, today's situations will change. Let my clarity not change with every situation. Okay, during the day, whenever disturbed, ask 3 questions. What happened? What attachment or expectation has been touched? Who am I in the absence of this mental story? Okay. At night, review one incident, not with guilt, not with self condemnation. Simply observe, where did I lose my balance? What was I protecting? How could wisdom have operated there? This turns ordinary life itself into the deeper meditative states that's called nididhyasana. Okay? Conclusion is that we have to become like an ocean. That is what apurya mana machala pratishtam samudram apav pravishanti yadvat. Nothing should happen to me. Whatever happens need not determine what I fundamentally am. Okay? At the karma yoga level, act without being psychologically imprisoned by the result. At the bhakti level, offer both success and failure to Ishvara. And at the Gnana level, when you raise, recognize that all experiences arise and disappear in consciousness, while the self is never modified by them. Then gradually life changes. We still work, we still maintain relationships, we still make decisions. Pleasure comes, pain comes, but the center of gravity shifts from reaction to response, from attachment to freedom, from why is this happening to me to what is this experience revealing about my identity. And finally, from trying to make the mind permanently peaceful to recognizing that self was never disturbed. That is the practical journey towards Sthita Prajna. The ocean does not need to stop the rivers. It only needs to remain as ocean, as Sthita Prajna. This is what Lord Krishna teaches us as to change our lives. Om Tat Sat. Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.